Good evening. It is Wednesday, the 26th of November, 2025, coming up to 9 p.m. And this is the 45-day Global Funk Fam Talk Show Volume 2. I had a good chat with Swanny at the beginning of last month, and we had a catch-up of all things to do with 45-day. We love 45s and also the Global Funk Fam in terms of our communities, in terms of live events, and in terms of streams. Thought it'd be good to have a catch-up because they've still got lots of stuff going on, including Unstoppable DJ Battle, which we talked about briefly on the last show. And obviously there's a little update on that. But also we've got another guest. We've got not just Swanny, but we've also got Biscuit Kitten, aka Kerry, who's been doing some interviews and stuff behind the scenes at both Shindig and Mucky Weekender. And we're going to be talking a lot about that. So here is everyone today.
Hello.
Hi.
First of all, it's great to have you on the show, Kerry, and we'll come to you in a few minutes to hear about what you've been up to for the Global Funk Fam. But before that, last month we talked about some 45-day events in Europe. We talked about Coffee and Donuts show. We talked about the JFB party, and we had a brilliant clip from that. And also we talked about the Unstoppable DJ battle coming up in December, which we're going to talk about probably a little bit later in the show. Swanny, how's it going since we last spoke? It's been about 6 or 7 weeks since we were last on the show. How's things been since then?
We've sort of started bedding down some stuff for next year, which is great. I did have to rewatch your show on YouTube, actually, that you posted, our show that we did to try and catch up with all the stuff. But yeah, so we've got some stuff in the bag for next year, which we can sort of start to talk about next week, which would be really good. Again, Unstoppable, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Just wanted to kind of update with all the Mucky Weekender stuff. That's why I wanted to get Kerry involved, because she and Si hits up Mucky. So Kerry, I think you've got some stuff to talk about as well later.
Well, yeah. Hiya, everyone. It was so much fun. Well, I'm going to tell you all about it in a little while. And I'm going to tell you about, I've curated our Hump Day Hijack stream next week as well. So I'll tell you a little bit about that I've put together.
Great. So yeah, lots of stuff to come. And I'm really looking forward to finding out definitely about Mucky Weekender. That looked like a lot of fun. Obviously, there's been lots of cool stuff happening, and we spoke about some of the things that I'll be playing a couple of clips on later. That was the Reading event and also our Reloop event with West End DJ Expo in London, which was cool. But we have got some cool stuff happening this weekend, and I'm not even going to these, but these are We Love 45's events. We've got 2 happening on Saturday. The first one is in Stoke, and that is through Mr. Salt, who's putting together an event, a collab with Hop Lab Brewery up there, and it's going to be every 3 months. We've got a very special one coming up in February. I can't announce the headline just yet, but that's going to be very interesting. Yeah, Stoke of all places. It's great to see how the We Love 45s thing is moving, but he's done this really cool artwork to go with the event. But that is a 7-inch sleeve, effectively, put on the table so that people can have a sort of little memento. I think there's only 10, so they're limited edition. So yeah, so he's made it out of card. That's obviously the DJs that are taking part, and then inside there's a little sort of information saying what We Love 45s is about. So there's going to be 10 of those. So if you're going to that event, you can try and pick one of those up. But as I said, that's the start of a every 3 months event, and we've got some special events lined up coming up in 2026.
And I think you said there's a golden ticket in just a couple of them, didn't you? Which means that Criztoz will drive you to and from every festival that you go to next year as well. So that's really cool. That's fantastic.
That could be an idea for the future. Yeah,
it's amazing how you give up so much for charity, mate. It's phenomenal, honestly.
It could be. Now, the next event that's happening this Saturday, again, is another important one, because when we first came out of lockdown and were able to sort of start putting on events, the first one we did was in Glasgow in August 2021. And this was at Some Great Rewards record shop, but even then they still had some restrictions. So we couldn't have more than, I think, 3 or 4 people in the record shop. Everyone else had to be in the pub down the road. And even then there was like restrictions. They're doing a event back there again on Saturday.
Está la mejor salsa de Costa Rica. Y si no me creen, pregúntesele a Olíen. ¡Ja! Yo nací en Costa Rica. Traigo una salsa que pica para tocarle a las ticas. Y está rica, rica de verdad.
Okay, there you go. So if you're in the
Beauty.
Glasgow area, lots of great DJs at the record store that we first started, We Love 45's events back in August 2021. So it's great that we're back there and they're going to be doing some more regular events. So yeah, it's an interesting weekend for the 45
Yeah,
scene.
say salsa and cumbia in
Exactly.
Glasgow. Like it.
Exactly. Mucky Weekender. I think it's time that we find out a little bit more about that. So from the videos on YouTube, it looked like everyone had a great deal of fun, including sort of interviewing Barry as well as lots of cool people. But should we have a quick clip first, which is the sort of overview?
Weekender 2025, people, we're staying alive, and that's the right vibes, right?
Mucky Weekender. Yeah, I am Northern.
Mucky Weekender.
You know what? You're not doing anything wrong, are you? Or you wouldn't be here today
fucking
doing
am.
this. Oh no!
Love it every year. Like, just gets better and better. The people, the layout, the tunes, the lineup.
I really felt the pressure. It was a Freddie Mercury. I was like, if I knew that Freddie's coming, if I got the memo, I wouldn't be doing Kurt Cobain.
Party's been hard all weekend, so I thought I'm going to give him a little slap round the face, some tear out breakbeat.
Giant steps are what you take, walking on the moon.
Yeah, we can overlay it.
I don't want to downplay it, but you know, if you're playing the track out and there's a little bit of time, you can do a lot of aerial flows in a minute.
I actually started off on CDs when I was a kid. And I was like, I hate this. And I almost didn't do any more DJing. I was like, I've had enough.
Imagine, is everyone going to leave? Because if this is the vibe they're on, they might not like what I'm going to play. And I wanted to get on the mic and be like, are you ready for some filth?
We've been to Poland and played on the biggest stages we've ever played on. It was absolutely bonkers.
And we've been like, we need to do a party together called Real Love. We need to do a party. So
Yes.
it's finally happening.
Ritually, before every gig in the van is Imagine by John Lennon.
Really?
No. Yo, this is Big Daddy Skit, so when I'm not eating my big vegetarian breakfast, I'm locked into the global funk, fam.
Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun.
Oh my god, yeah. I haven't watched them back for now, a few weeks. And I was just grinning like
That was just one small part of it. So tell us a little bit about how the link up came about for Mucky Weekender.
Shindig 2023, when we did the first Funk Fam takeover there, and we had loads of sets in the artist bar as well. It was really funny because Bub Cave and I think Sakusa were playing together. Bub Cave definitely and Bones, and everyone was in the artist bar, and Barry just kind of hovered around behind the decks and started playing with them. So that was really cool. That was the first kind of time we got to chat to him properly. And then last year, unfortunately, a bit too busy, but this year we got in nice and early, and yeah, fortunately, Kerry and Sai got to go along and document the whole thing.
Kerry, tell us, obviously firsthand, what it was like sort of going and being able to do this, obviously behind the scenes as well, because you're not just going to the festival, you're actually a part of it by doing interviews.
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, we were at Shindig as well. I was doing interviews, racing around there too. Yeah, it's a lot of work, right? It's not just having fun at the festival. It's real work, as you know, when you're doing this thing, and then there's a lot of edits that's got to come afterwards. We sort of knew what we were doing a little bit more this time, but we didn't really know who we were going to interview. We looked in a couple of people, but it was really a case of suck it and see, asking people. The allergies kicked off. When they came off stage, I was like, all right, do you mind? And they said, yeah. I did the same when Don Lettuce came off, and he was just really busy and he wanted to. And then we didn't get that. And it was a little bit like that all weekend, really.
I'm sort of a one-man band, so I sort of end up doing the little interviews, but I don't always get time. But I guess with you, it's like you've got to try and grab the artist when they're there, because it's all well and good saying, oh, I'll see you later on, but it's a festival. You might not actually get that opportunity again.
Yeah, I mean, we were really privileged to be invited by Barry and Ilona. So we had perfect access to all the backstage areas. The main one was a great base as well. That was where the artist liaison was. Everyone was coming to book in. So we were trying to spot people. We were always looking at the lineup and seeing which, if we had to go to a different stage. So yeah, we were around the main stage the first day. We were a bit more behind the UFO stage on the second day. And then we were over by the Riot noise stage on the Sunday. So, and then back again to the main area. It was nice that we got to show the different areas as well, the different backstage areas. And in the chat, I think is DJ Audacity, one of the people we saw there who I got to speak to. And that was complete chance. We got chatting to him on the Sunday morning, learned he was going to open the Riot Noise stage because he won the competition, and that was his first ever proper gig. So straight away we were on him like a shot, got an interview with him, and we're really pleased he joined the GFF. So more to come, but he's going to be on my raid train next week. So that's, so you know, things come full circle, and that's super exciting too.
Yeah, we'll hear about the raid train shortly. But before that, obviously, you also got to interview Barry himself. How did that come about? And obviously, we'll watch an edited part of it. But tell us about that.
We tried to pounce on him a little bit on the first day. He's just chatting to everybody all the time, bouncing around when we saw him. He was totally up for an interview, but he was also like, yeah, whatever, whenever you want. And so the second day we decided, right, I think the strategy is we've got to pin him down and say, we're doing it now, Barry, because it might not happen otherwise. And then we missed him. And then we happened to be in the Love Bus, which is an amazing backstage bus behind the UFO stage, and we'd gone over there to see if we could interview Sarah Love. So we did that, and then out of nowhere Barry appeared. So it just happened, and then everybody else who was about, Barry then was like, oi, come here, have an interview. So we were in the bus for ages that day, and that was thanks to Barry. If you watch all of the interview, it was a lot of fun.
Let's watch a few minutes of that.
With the Dub Pistols and all that, I saw you at a little festival in Northamptonshire called the Music Barn.
A music bar. Yeah, I think it was,
A couple of years ago. It was a little stage, and it was
Yeah.
a very little festival. That was great to see you on such a small stage.
I think we did it this year, Flock Steady Beats, I'm not sure. But I think that's, love that. You know what it's like? It's like, Dub Pistols, we play literally, I think, 11 months of the year, probably 3 times a week, and we just literally don't stop touring. So that means you get to go to the bigger festivals, but I also like the more intimate, smaller ones, and the ones that are grassroots. It's so hard now with like Live Nation taking over everything. So there is no soul in these places. Do you know what I mean? Which is why. This is why I wanted to do this, do you know what I mean? And keep it grassroots and keep it real.
Yeah. So what year was the first year of Mucky?
I'm not sure. I know this is our 6th edition, and then we had a year off because of COVID. So it's 7 years ago, but where are we now? 25. So I guess that's 2018.
Yeah. And do you see it potentially, growing ever so slightly, or do you want to keep it at this size?
Not at all. That's not what I'm about. That's not what the whole ethos is the place about. When you go out there, and you've seen it, I know it's your first year, but the amount of love and these people have been like and support we get, and I don't want to grow it, because then you'll lose what the identity, you'll pick a load of wrong ones. There's not ever been one problem here, do you know what I mean? Touch
a lion.
Word, do you know what I mean? There's never been a problem, never been an issue. People here are so fucking beautiful, excuse my language,
no, go for it.
So beautiful, do you know what I mean? And so the amount of love and everything, it's kind of crazy again. I've been doing it for so long, and the fact that every artist now, because it's the end of the season, come and they hang out. They just don't come in and just go. They stick around and they party with it. And
it is a bit of the official end of the season.
So that's what it kind of, it kind of is. And the reason we did it, because initially it was like, this was the festival. This was the festival window, and they used to always do it second week of September. So I saw an opportunity, slipped in, and thought, I'll take that when they went. Do you know what I mean? It was like, so yeah.
So back to the Dub Pistols. What for you got going on in terms of new music?
Oh God,
when do you get time to write? Are you writing while
non-stop, non-stop? I mean, half the time is trying to get time to release.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, again, taking the festival on. I've now taken next year. I'm doing my own self-promoted tour.
Okay.
I'm now running my own label but there's only 20% of the blame left. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so, before I had record labels and they'd take 50%, and then you'd work with promoters and that, they always rely on you to do the job. And I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. I may as well do it myself. So we're taking the whole thing 360 degrees. You know, it's like I've got a new album coming out in March with Aston from the Freestylers.
Oh, right, yeah, I want to try and, I mean, we want to catch them playing, but I'll try and catch Aston for
Little guy,
interview.
little guy. You'll be fine. So we had got the album with Enter the Sound. It'll be out in March, by the way.
March.
And then I got my own label, Cyclone, and because I was waiting, it's like, you know, you're trying to find windows of when to release stuff and line it all up. And I got bored, so I've then recorded another album, so I've got 2 albums finished. You know what I mean?
Do another.
Do another one.
We talked about there was, you know, so much community feel and love for music and everyone. Just a really nice vibe throughout the whole site. It's a really great festival if you can get down there.
And I liked what he goes on to say later as well about the size of it. You know, you asked him about the expansion. He says, no, we're keeping it this, like, it's for this size group and this is what it should be. And that's, yeah, it's really cool. That whole interview's wicked.
That's right, isn't it, though? Because obviously, you know, as things get bigger, you know, there's always this, well, it should be bigger and better and this, that, but it isn't always better. You know, it might be bigger, but then if everyone's spread out across a bigger festival, more stages, more artists, whatever, it just loses that connection, doesn't it? You know. So.
Yeah. I think it's very telling that, you know, they sold out weeks before the festival, which not every festival sells out at all. It is really telling that they put into it when you've got all your mates playing. As they said it's kind of easy when you believe in your mates and you just bring them all together for a party in a way.
But that's coming back to community, isn't it? You know, they've built over many, many years the Dub Pistols in live events, and they've built this community, and they're like, right, we're going to do our own event, bring our own community together. And, you know, maybe one day, I don't know if it's on the cards, but maybe a global funk fam festival at some point, you know, even just at one stage, or just a stage takeover of one bit. You know, it's going to start somewhere, hasn't it? But again, it's bringing like-minded people who are into what you do, your tribe, into the same space, and you're going to have a good time.
Exactly that. And I'm kind of chomping at the bit to tell you the thing that we can't tell you, but is fairly obvious and evident to a lot of our followers already, that we're quite excited about already for next year. So yeah, looking forward to getting that announced next week, I think, as well. You know, it's great having the festivals there. It's great being able to get that together, but all credit to Kerry and to Sai as well for pulling it off on the ground. It's not easy to go there and be running around constantly and then coming back and all the editing behind it. So fair play to them both. Absolutely massive big ups to everyone involved with that.
Oh, thank you.
And Kerry, as you already said, it's a lot of work. You know, it's not just going on a jolly.
No, it isn't, and it is all the after stuff as well. You know how long it takes to make social reels, unless you want to pay $40 a month for a bit of AI software to bang them into social reels for you. Yeah, it takes the time, but it's worth the effort. You know, I wanted to do reels for all of those interviews this time to see what that would do for the Global Funk Fam, and having those collaborative posts. And, you know, doing the collaboration with you, and we're promoting, you know, those DJs as best we can, and shouting out the Allergies gigs or Jimmy Needles or whoever. You know, if we all do a bit for each other, then we'll hopefully all grow and be happy.
Yeah, it's each one helps one, doesn't it? You know, we all do a little bit of sharing, and like you say, you know, supposedly collaborative posts and reels and stuff are meant to help, and they seem to, because hopefully they get to a different audience. And, you know, if we do all work together, we can all grow together. So yeah,
I think the other thing that's important about not just what we're doing as well, but what you're doing with 45 Kids, and like we saw this in action at Shindig, where people came together. You know, everyone's quite good at doing their own thing, but then coming together was like, oh yeah, okay, that's how we fit in as a team. And so coming off the back of COVID, it was still, you know, there's a lot of people with different skill sets, and there's a lot of opportunities. I think now, you know, we do it a lot in esports as well. You could be a presenter on the top of a mountain, you know, by a lake in the middle of a city. All the opportunities are there, and it's up to us lot, you know, to understand how we can create that opportunity for creative industries, for individuals to come through, and for, you know, for us to kind of build on it. going to ask you, you were talking about Reading earlier.
On the last show, I think it was beginning of October, so we hadn't done the event in Reading or the event in London with West End DJ and Reloop, but the event in Reading was at the Reading Biscuit Factory. I found out subsequently it wasn't actually a biscuit factory itself. The biscuit factory is in a separate building further down the road.
Oh
No
no.
But
biscuits.
it's a really cool venue, and I think we're provisionally booked in to do 45-day 2026 live from there next year because it's a great space. But here's a little clip of DJ Random. There was an interesting bit during the event. I was DJing, and he likes his mixer there and his 2 decks this side. So on my last song, there was this bit where 4 of us were trying to sort of lift the mixer up and sort of move it across. So when that's eventually on YouTube, it's fun. But anyway, in the meantime, here's a little clip.
It's a new crew in town, yeah, right. And brothers gonna work it out. It's a new crew in town. It's a new crew. It's a new crew in town. It's a new crew in town. It's a new crew in town. Right. The brothers will work it out. Beats and rise, we all about. Suddenly, I think the world is waiting.
Little clip from him from Reading, and yeah, it's a really cool venue. There's lots of space. There's a sort of pop-up kitchen in there. There's a record shop. There's a craft beer. There's a cinema. There's a coffee shop downstairs. So yeah, it could be one of our hubs going forwards. But
Sounds like a nice place.
yeah, it's definitely cool. And then we did the Reloop event in London, which was great as part of West End DJ, and we took over the Sunday. We had a pair of Reloop RP7s, and a lot of the DJs, it was the first time they're having a go on them. Sam Tweaks, having spoken nicely to the Reloop guy, has actually got some Reloops now on his stream, bless him. One of the highlights was Matt Baylor, who's supporting the Heliocentrics very soon.
Okay, fellas. Watch me work. I did it. Come on. Okay, fellas. Okay, fellas. Okay, fellas. Okay, fellas. Okay, fellas. Watch me work. I did it. Come on. Okay, fellas. Watch me work. I did it. Come on.
I love Mixie just casually strolling in there in the background.
I know. Do you know? I nearly came down because I spoke to Minnie Dominguez at Mucky, and I knew she was doing her panel on motherhood and DJing, and I was this close to coming down, but the trains were not great, and I really didn't fancy like a 2-hour train ride down. It looks amazing.
It was a lot of fun, and I think I didn't get to speak to her, but I did see her sort of walk through, and one of the other DJs, DJ BTX Bex, who played as part of this, was also on that panel. I think she stepped in at the last minute to fill in for someone, but it was a really cool event, great venue, lots of great music, and also the fact that, you know, we were able to sort of showcase what we do, but also there was all the DJ controllers and drum machines and all sorts of stuff there. And yeah, good vibes, and big shout out to Terry Hooligan for putting that together, and also Reloop for collabing with us. So let's get back to the Global Funk Fam. We have Hump Day Hijack. So Swanny, tell us a little bit about that and what's happening
So
next.
in the GFF, we do raid train events on Twitch. We have a lot of our DJs who are in schedule kind of events each week, and they raid into each other, and it's kind of how a lot of Twitch events work, right? So we had one called Wednesday Wubs, which is ongoing this evening. I think we might raid over to them after. And when that stopped, we kind of said, okay, well, there's a bit of a gap. What can we do? And we originally started the GFF to give people promotion, to get people from bedroom DJ to festivals and to try and get them involved with communities all over the world. A few of us had a bit of a chat as to what we should do. We said, okay, well, we've now met some really big people, we've done some really big parties with some big names. So how can we get them involved a bit more? So that's what Hump Day Hijack was really. A different curator could hijack that event and kind of organize their own lineup based on people that don't often get on trains or, sort of other guests that they wanted to bring in. And yeah, I've done my one originally, a Wales special version. I think we're now up to the fourth one, and this one's courtesy of our own Biscuit Kitten.
So, Kerry, do you want to tell us a little bit about it? I've got the flyers and we can talk of the lineup.
Yeah, a bit of a mix. I wanted to get a couple of people on who I'd interviewed. So, as I mentioned it before, DJ Audacity. I don't know if he's still in the chat. If you are, hello. Excited about it. Also, we have got 8 p.m. there, GMT, Global Funk Fam. We have got Monsieur Uz, which you probably know him as Mr. Hours. But if you didn't know he was French, he is. And I interviewed him at Shambhala this year as well. So that was great meeting him when he was over. We chatted about Shake the Booty, one of our other French DJs. He doesn't stream, but sharing the love. We're not going to exclude anyone, right? So he's doing a pre-record for us. So we're really, really lucky to get that, because if you've got to go and find him, and he is in France. I asked Mojax if he wanted a slot. Mojax was down at the JFB thing, right?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah.
Which I couldn't go to. Mojax played my favourite set at Suckerfest last year. When a set just hits you just right, the sun was out, and I was dancing pretty much just on my own out of the tent, but it was perfect. So thanks to him for kicking things off. Candyman, just one of my OG faves from the fam. He's in the chat. I think he was,
yeah, and he's been on the show before with Swanny. We did a part of my journey show, but both of them were on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, glad Candyman's on. So then Audacity, then there we've got Mr. Hours. We'll keep it English. Mr. Big Mouth, who obviously we're working with the Unstoppable battle. So Swanny's the man on all that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that shortly. Yeah.
John the Hat, who is a friend of the fam, known John for a long while, but he's just joined the fam. It's on the hush hush. We haven't really announced him, but we will. His flyers going out in the next few days.
I love as well that John the Hat has met one of my other good friends, Criztoz, who often comes in the chat, and he's been playing in pubs with him in Bradford as well with their DJ lot.
Wow.
John's going through living his best life. It's really cool for him.
I know John the Hat through him playing on ADP's Big Weekender events.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So known John really through the Next Men channel originally. I think in all the crossovers. And then I've got Original Juice, not on all the trains, and I wanted to just pick a few people who I might not see their name on our trains usually. To the B over in Canada, he came over for Suckfest. Also with To the Moni. When you've met somebody, you have that extra connection sometimes. So I asked him. And then we've got Evan Priday over at 1:00 a.m. it's going to be. And then we've got Rich Green in New York finishing things off, and he asked if he could go last at that time so he can just carry on till whenever he wants. So I don't know, I'll be in bed probably after 3.
That's the other thing. I think back in the pandemic, when I was running another channel and running raid trains and all sorts, you'd be up till all hours, but you just can't do that now. You can sort of stay up to a certain point, but there's not sort of 3, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, because most of us got to go to work the next day or do.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't really planning to go this long, but then Rich said I was hoping Rich had gone at 1 a.m, but he said 2. And then it just kind of got a bit bigger and bigger. So then we started at 5. But I've never done it before. So it's kind of been fun. It's a lot of hard work trying to herd all the kittens.
Yes.
but
it's perhaps easier now. I remember when we first started, it was just a nightmare, because it was just emails and stream keys and making sure that OBS worked and all of that stuff. So things are a lot easier in terms of that aspect of it, but you still got to get a lot of people in the right place at the right time on Twitch.
If only there was something like a Discord built at the very start of this whole thing where people could share their streamliners. I mean, that's what came about, right? That's how we first really got started, was, Si and me in a room kind of having to chat about stuff, and then Si progressing it with all the others and going, oh, right, this is what we've done. So yeah, props to Candyman and everybody else for being in it at the start, and for Si for building what all those tools have been, really. I know others have developed their own, and it's all Red Labs and all that kind of stuff if you want that, but obviously we say Si's tools are great.
But it's great, obviously, spreading the love. It's great getting excited about putting on raid trains, because obviously, again, there's so many raid trains, but it's like, well, who can I get together on this particular raid train? And the fact that you've got people who are doing pre-record, I think, back in the early days of Twitch, that was probably a little bit frowned upon, but now it's like, well, it's just a hybrid channel, isn't it? Like, replaying streams and events and all of that. So it's cool that we've got the ability to be able to do all of that now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the bottom line is Mr. Always doesn't stream, and he's a really amazing producer, and a lot of our DJs play his music and love him as a producer. And I was lucky enough to see him at Shambhala when he came over to DJ. The Swingamajig crew had him over after their collab. Collabs. If it wasn't a pre-record, well, you wouldn't get to see him. And I think he'd like to show you his stuff, and and I know that everyone's going to enjoy it. So what the hell, right?
And we had a few of those for the Shindig Countdown celebration streams. We had a few of those. So we had JFB did one, DubFX did one for us, which was phenomenal last year. That was really cool. We've had Wobbles done one, Extra Medium's done one. So yeah, I think it's you're not hoodwinking people and pretending it's live. We're just saying, cool, this is the train, this is the headliner act, or these are the people that are fitting in. And I don't think there's anything wrong with
we've
that.
got a guest.
Exactly. I'm going to talk a couple of things that I've got coming up, and then we'll talk about the Unstoppable DJ battle. I've explained the two things that are happening this weekend, but that's pretty much the end of the sort of We Love 45s events for this year. It's been a busy year. The next year is my good friend Sideshow Mall's 45th birthday in January. We've organised 45 Funksters for about 4.5 years now on the first Monday of every month, all Funk 45s. He's organised lots of raid trains. We've been connected on Twitch, met for the first time earlier this year. Yeah, it's his 45th birthday, and of course we're going to put on a 45s party. So we are going to Dusseldorf in January for the first time. We've got a bar on the 16th of January. That's Bar Convex. That's going to be a 7 deadly 7. So each DJ plays 7 of their deadliest 7-inch records in 20 minutes. Hopefully we'll be streaming all this. Then we've got a hip hop jam with some break dancers on Saturday the 17th of January. That's at the JC Academy Hip Hop and Rain. And then in the evening, we've got a club, Schlusser Zwei, 8 p.m. till 3 a.m. And some Twitch people are coming along. We've got, I think, Platinum Pats is hopefully going to make it, and a few other people that we know from Twitch, and some local DJs as well. So that's happening in January. If anyone can get to Dusseldorf, then come along. I've said about February, we've got a very special event in Hop Lab. I'm going up to that one in Stoke, and yeah, lots of stuff coming up. I'm not going to announce it all because a few things need to be bottomed out, but like you guys, it's really busy. Your next thing that you've got is still pretty big, and that's in a few weeks' time with the Unstoppable DJ battle. So Swanny,
before you start, Swanny, I'm going to jump in and just say, because it's that birthday, the Hump Day hijack, I'm hijacking it for my birthday too, because it's 2 days after my birthday. So I've never had a Twitch stream birthday party before. So I've just made my own as well. So I hope everyone can come along, just because it'll be a bit of a party as well.
They definitely have to come now. It's a birthday stream.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Check out GFF socials.
Do that.
And then I think it's Candyman's turn a fortnight after that.
Yeah.
Don't forget Andy.
He's in the chat.
So yeah, drop into the stream, especially to see Mr. Big Mouth, because Swanny.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, segue. Nice.
Mr. Big Mouth. Yeah. Is he involved in something you're doing?
Sorry, I've got a light kind of in my eye as well. I noticed my lights weren't good enough before, and now I'm realizing we're talking about working through the night. And I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. So yes, Unstoppable. We spoke a little bit about it last time, didn't we? The whole thing was brought about because we were asked to get involved and do some filming of it. It's an event that's been put together by Mr. Big Mouth Beats, by Hugh Wackman and Ollie as well. They're essentially trying to promote turntablism and develop the scratch scene in the UK, which is really commendable. And this night they've put together is really, really cool. So there's 2 different scratch battles. So the first one's a Scratch Pit freestyle scratch competition with a £1,800 for the winner, which is pretty huge. And then later on in the day, there's the actual unstoppable head-to-head battle. So that's kind of more of your DMC type thing, you know, where you see lots of juggling and lots of kind of tricks going on there. So yeah, 2 pretty big events in the day already. In between all of that, we'll be doing loads of interviews and stuff, obviously, and capturing a load of really cool content. And then in the evening, there's a party with JFB, Mr. Switch, Woody, DJ Random, Jimmy Needles, Luke Skywalker, loads of really cool people. So yeah, I think there's still tickets. I'm gonna, if it's okay.
Yeah,
I've got it. I can't go.
Link
I know.
in
Me too. I've got
the-
a family event that weekend, so maybe next year.
Yeah.
I've got the
'cause
kiddies.
again, I'm launching something next year that could fit in with that. But again,
Very
that'll be announced soon. But yeah, if anyone's interested, there it is, the Unstoppable DJ Battle.
Yeah.
Scratch Jam, Scratch
So again,
Competition.
thanks to
Canon.
Sai as well, really. Sai went to check it out venue-wise, you know, and Sai and Bones have been working on some of the setup for it, and Rich T's going to be down there helping us out. Dal's coming down to help us out. So yeah, we're excited about that. It's going to be good fun.
We had Rich
Yeah.
T as part of the Reloop DJ event. He came down and he brought his dub siren as well. I think he annoyed most people with it. As dub
Sorry about
sirens
that.
normally go, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was great to have him there. But again, you guys it's just great that you're so busy still, obviously after the summer, because a lot of events in, you know, festivals and things sort of stop, and then there's a quiet period until next year. But it's good that you're getting involved in something like this, because this has only got the potential to grow, you know, assuming it goes well. It's something that hopefully can grow and become a regular event.
Yeah, completely. And that's kind of what we've hoped, really. You know, the strategy, if there has been one over the past few years, has been to just help others to kind of grow and explore different bits and bobs that we should be doing, and then kind of follow what feels good, really. So yeah, it's going to be really nice to get involved with these guys too.
I think we're pretty much there. Is there anything else you want to announce this side of Christmas? Because we probably won't do another one of these until probably early in the new year.
Other than, if you want to stay warm at Christmas, go and buy all of your GFF merchandise from the new and improved GFF merchandise store, which Sai has.
Yeah, we've got
beautifully finished up.
global shipping on all items for the first time. And it's all on our website, gff.dj. Do you know of any good events to go along with kids to, and introduce them to DJing or music in a different way?
Yeah, I mean, some of our events, we have had the 45 kids do a kids DJ workshop where some of our 45 kids have taught the other kids at the event. That's not at every event, and it's quite specific, but there's some of those. But I think certainly things like the Wii DJ thing, there were some kids there sort of trying out the equipment, but it's certainly something we're going to be looking into hopefully next year. For example, the Reading event, if we do that on 45 Day, I think I definitely want to have a section where there is like an open decks for kids to come along and try, because, you know, controllers are relatively simple, but I think, you know, for us, playing 45s is perhaps even simpler, because it's like, right, put the needle on, get the record, line it up. So it's something that kids can have a very tactile thing. But yeah, watch this space as we sort of grow and some of our events are bigger. We're definitely going to want to be involved in that. But is there something with the Global Funk Fam? You know,
I don't know. I mean, I've got a 9 and a 11-year-old. I've got girls. You know, I have weekends when I can do things and when I can't.
Yeah.
But it would be really good to cross over the two at some point. I haven't found the thing yet. So yeah, we should talk again.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain events that we've played at, both me and my daughter. There's Elderflower Fields Festival, which is a local festival, and I've done a DJ set and she's done a DJ set, and again they've had other kids do things like that, but that's a little bit different to the sort of workshops. But I think at Latitude, my friend Chrome has done sort of DJ workshops at some of those events. But yeah, it's something I think it will be a growing interest.
And the mini mixers as well. Is
Yeah.
they were Shambhala. Yeah.
Anything else anyone wants to talk about or say?
No, only that it's Christmas quite soon. So if you want to wrap up warm and get yourself some GFF merchandise for your friends and family, then the merch store is open.
Is there merchandise available now for?
There is, yeah.
There's my merch available as well if anyone wants it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is there 45-day merch?
There is 45-day merch. There's coffee and donuts merch, which I'll show every Saturday.
Beautiful.
There's all sorts of
yeah,
stuff.
no, I like the coffee and donuts merch actually.
Yeah, it's good. And we will be doing another one, I think, next year, another collaboration with Always Bowling Club. We've done 2 this year and last year, and they've both sold out. So hopefully we'll do one more next year to celebrate 7 years of
tap up Mr. ABC as well.
Yes, yes. Well, he's been at some of our events, and he came and had a stall at our Reading event, in fact, and actually speaking to Rob, who runs the record store there. He's now back there for their Christmas event on, I think, the 13th, which is the same day as the Unstoppable DJ battle. So if you can't get to that and can get to Reading, there's lots of stuff going on with all our connections. Thank you so much, both of you, for being on the show. It's great to catch up, find out a little bit more. I'm Swanny. I'm sure we'll reconnect probably early part of next year and see who else you can invite along as maybe another guest.
I'll be hounding you before then. Absolutely.
Yes. But anyway, thanks everyone. Take it easy. We'll raid out. If you guys just hang on there for a sec, we'll just have a quick chat afterwards.
Have a good evening.
Bye.